Welcome to another episode of Gunjan Talks. We all know that almonds are a super healthy snack, but I still get a lot of questions about them. So today we have a very special guest, Elena Hemler. She is the Associate Director of Nutrition Reseach at the Almond Board of Califonia. And I decided to ask her all the doubts many of us have about almonds, right from their nutrition benefits to their role in weight management. I also asked Elena about the best way to consume almonds. Should we eat them raw or soaked? How many almonds should we eat every day? And is soaking really necessary? Apart from this, we also busted some surprising myths and facts you probably didn't know. So if you want to learn how to get maximum health benefits from almonds, then this episode is for you. Now let's dive into it. Hi everyone, so meet Elena. She is the Associate Director of Nutrition Reseach at Almond Board of Califonia. It's a pleasure to have you on this show today. Thank you so much for taking out time.
Happy to be here.
So you know what? In India, almond is more than just a dry fruit. It's an emotion because people in India, they gift dry fruits to each other on occasions like Diwali. Children in India eat almond every morning before they go to the school. So that's the importance of almonds in India.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
What are the different benefits one can get when they eat almonds every day?
Yeah, very good question. So almonds are one of the most researched foods in the world. We have over 200 peer-reviewed publications on the nutrition and health benefits of almonds.
Wow.
And this body of research really spans many different health areas. I would say the most kind of foundational established area of the almond research is how almonds can benefit your heart health. A lot of data showing that eating almonds every day can help improve cholesterol levels among many different populations.
Is it because of the monounsaturated fat, the healthy fat it has?
Yes,
okay,
almonds
great.
are chock full of really healthy monounsaturated fats. They also contain polyunsaturated fats. And these types of fats are very beneficial for heart health as well as many different health areas. We also have a very large body of research on the blood sugar regulation effects of almonds. Our research, we have a lot of research specific to an Indian context showing that almonds can be very beneficial to help people with prediabetes, with overweight and obesity, and managing their blood sugar. We also have a large body of evidence on the weight management effects of almonds, showing that eating almonds every day can really be a beneficial tool to help in managing weight and help with feeling full and having a lot of energy.
So you said diabetes. Diabetes is currently a big thing in India.
Yes.
Unfortunately, India is now called as diabetic capital of the world. And you said that almonds can actually help with the diabetes. So my first question is it like okay for someone who has diabetes, or can it also help to manage or reverse diabetes?
Yes. So we've done a number of different studies in India, in different geographic regions of India, and also among different population groups. People with type 2 diabetes, people with pre-diabetes, people with overweight and obesity who don't have diabetes, and among youth at risk for diabetes. So we have seen among all these population groups that almonds can be beneficial in regulating different metabolic factors, things like weight, different measures of blood glucose. So I would say, among our studies looking at people with type 2 diabetes, we do see that almonds are a helpful dietary strategy to manage the condition. But we've also seen among populations with pre-diabetes that hasn't fully progressed to diabetes, almonds were actually beneficial in about a quarter of the people studied, reversing pre-diabetic blood sugar regulation back to normal, healthy blood sugar regulation. And all of these studies were done in an Indian context.
Oh, okay, great. Because diabetes in India, in an Indian context for that matter, is very different because it's mostly because of the lifestyle, the culture, the habits. So diabetes in India is mostly because of all these reasons.
Yes.
So I'm glad that whatever information you're sharing is coming from the studies on Indian standpoint.
Yes,
so that makes much more sense.
Because the background diet is different even in different parts of India. We see that there's really different dietary patterns.
You also mentioned almonds are good for weight management.
Yes.
However, at the same time, almonds are also high in calories, like just a handful or one serving, 1 ounce of almonds, which is close to what? How many grams?
28 grams.
28 grams.
Is one serving, one handful of almonds.
So 28 grams of almond contains close to 160, 170 calories. And then at the same time, we say it also helps in weight management. So how is that? Because something which is so much nutritionally dense and high on calories, how can a food like that helps to manage weight? I mean, I really want to know this from you.
Yes, it's a great question, because I think there is a myth about not just almonds, but about nuts and foods that are high in fat in general, that they cause weight gain. And this is really not true based on the body of scientific evidence. We have seen that many foods that contain these mono and polyunsaturated fatty acids can actually be really beneficial for preventing weight gain.
Okay.
And in the case of almonds, although, one serving of almonds does have 160 calories, we do see in many, many different studies from India and from all around the world that when people are eating a handful of almonds a day, it's very filling, it's very satiating, and they tend to eat less of other foods. So we see this effect of dietary compensation, where they're actually compensating for many of the calories that they are eating with almonds by eating less of other foods.
Okay.
In addition, the structure of the almonds, a lot of the fat and the calories are kind of sequestered in the cell wall of the almond. So we do have research showing that when people eat a whole almond, they don't actually absorb all of the calories. You only actually absorb about 75% of those 160 calories. So there's a few different kind of mechanistic reasons why we see in every single study that we do, you can give people almonds and they will not gain weight. In fact, we actually have seen that in many situations, eating almonds can help produce a small weight loss.
So where does the remaining 30% calories go? I mean, that's very exciting to know that only 70% of the calories actually get absorbed by the body. But then how about the rest of 30% of the
they're
calories?
excreted from the body.
Oh, okay. All right, so 70% is the one that gets consumed.
Like about 75% we've seen in our research that, the calories actually on the label of almonds are, they're a calculation that's done based on the amount of protein and fat and the carbohydrates in the almonds. But we've seen that actually when you study the amount of calories that are actually absorbed into the body, it is lower than the amount calculated that you would expect based on the label.
Oh, okay. So you said protein. I know almond is a good source of, it's a good plant-based protein, and I guess one serving contains close to 6 grams of protein?
6 grams of protein, yes.
Oh, that's wonderful, because that's equal to an egg. The kind of protein that egg contains, it's a complete profile, all 9 essential amino acids.
Yes.
However, almonds, the kind of protein or the quality of protein they contain, it's not complete protein. So what would you like to say on that?
Yeah, so like many plant-based sources of protein, like most other nuts, almonds don't have all 9 essential amino acids in the required amounts to be considered a complete protein. However, most people are actually eating plenty of protein and are getting all of their amino acids that they need. So I don't think of this as a major concern for almonds. Pairing plant-based protein sources makes it very easy to get all of the amino acids in the required amounts that you need them. So for example, pairing almonds with a legume or another type of plant-based protein source really ensures that you're getting all those amino acids.
Okay.
And again, most people throughout the day are getting plenty of protein and all of their amino acids. So it's not a big concern for the general population.
Okay. So protein in the almonds is also helping with muscle recovery.
Yes.
So I believe it can also be considered as a very good post-workout snack, is it?
Yes, we actually do have a few studies showing that almonds are really a great snack for post-exercise recovery. So after you do strenuous exercise, there's some muscle damage associated with that. There's some post-exercise inflammation. So it's really important to eat foods that have a lot of anti-inflammatory benefits that can really help with that post-exercise recovery. And we have seen from 3 research studies that almonds can help in reducing that post-exercise soreness and pain and fatigue.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And it also is a very good source of energy, so it can also be eaten before the workout so that you get like a good boost of energy and can perform better with your exercises.
Exactly.
Right? Amazing. So one nut which can be eaten as a pre-workout, both as a pre-workout and as a post-workout, that's amazing.
Yes, definitely.
Wonderful. Like another quality of almond which I want to talk with you is the skin benefits. You know, I also heard that it helps in reducing wrinkles, acne. So what is that? Like, is it really, can we really consume almonds as an anti-aging snack? Can we call it like that?
Yes, so there's a lot of evidence that eating a healthy diet is beneficial for your skin health and actually the appearance of your skin, which I think is really fascinating. So we have done a few studies on almonds looking at consumption of almonds and improvement of facial wrinkles and fine lines among postmenopausal women.
Oh,
so we have seen a benefit. You know, it makes sense. There's a lot of antioxidants and different bioactive compounds in almonds that you would expect could improve the appearance of your skin. So we do have a few studies actually showing some beauty benefits of almonds. But what I really like about those studies is if people are eating almonds, let's say they're motivated by the beauty benefit, they're also going to get the heart health and the blood sugar and the weight and all of those cardiometabolic benefits as well.
Oh, wow.
So it's a good reason to eat almonds.
So many good reasons. What's your favorite reason to eat almonds?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I really like the exercise recovery aspect. I'm very active. I do a lot of weightlifting. And so I make sure that after I work out and just every day that I'm eating foods like almonds that are really high in antioxidants and that can counteract some of that muscle inflammation.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So as I told you that in India is just more than a nut, more than a dry fruit. I remember that as a child, my mother would always want me, or rather force me to eat almonds, saying that it's good for your memory, it's good for your brain's health. It's actually considered as a food for brain.
Yeah.
So does it really help in improving cognitive functions like memory, like concentration? Are there any studies which supports this fact?
We do have an ongoing study in India right now looking at almonds and cognitive performance with Dr. Anoop Misra's lab. So I will definitely keep you posted on those results. But almonds are a source of zinc and they're a source of iron, which are nutrients that are known to help with cognitive performance. And I know, for centuries in India, almonds have really been touted for their health benefits through Ayurveda, which I think is really interesting because we are seeing now kind of in the modern clinical research, a lot of these health benefits that have been called out for centuries in traditional Indian medicine. We are seeing these coming to light in the modern clinical research.
Okay, and almond supports gut health as well.
Yes, we do have a lot of research indicating that almonds may have a prebiotic effect. So they may be selectively utilized by the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Which is related to health effects all around your body.
Oh, wonderful. So I remember that I saw this sticker somewhere in your office which had a list of almond benefits from head to toe.
Yes.
I mean, that was really fascinating from head to, I mean, that's a very different way to look at it.
Yes, yeah.
So we discussed so many good health benefits of almonds. Let's now talk about how can people actually take the most out of it, for which I want to discuss with you what is the right way to consume almonds. All right, so first of all, let's start with what according to you is the right quantity that one should consume in a day.
So in most of our research studies, we look at least 1 serving of almonds a day. So again, that's 28 grams, about 23 almonds. You know, we've done research on 1 serving, on 2 servings, on 3. We do see that more is better. The health effects tend to increase the more that you eat. But I think, you know, 1 handful a day is an attainable goal for most people to shoot for.
So when you say a handful of almonds, what is the right age group for this quantity? Like, I'm sure it cannot be the same for a child and for an older person or a young person, and then there are different lifestyles also. So what, like this amount, one serving, which is 28 grams, it is ideal for whom?
So we actually have done research on many different population groups, including adolescents, young adults, older adults, and we do look at least one serving a day.
Okay.
So we don't have super tailored recommendations based on age range.
All right.
We do see benefits in all age groups at least one serving a day.
Okay. And when is the best time to consume almonds?
So in many
of the day?
Many of our studies, we like to leave it flexible because every person is different, and people may like to eat almonds at different times or in different ways. You know, some people want to eat them all at once as a snack.
Okay.
Some people may want to sprinkle it on their oatmeal or in their salads. So we tend to try to leave it flexible. I would say almonds are such a healthy food at any time of day, like whatever works for the individual's preferences.
All right. So unlike many other foods, there is no restriction, like you cannot have it at the start of your day or just before bed. You can have it literally anytime.
We've studied at many different times and we see positive effects.
Okay. All right. So you said one serving or maybe more is even better. How long, what is the time it will take for someone to keep consuming almonds with consistency to actually start seeing the results, the benefits that we discussed?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So in our research studies, they range anywhere from a very acute study looking over a number of hours to up to a year.
Okay.
So we have a very, very wide range of durations of our research. You know, we do see a lot of our studies will look at people eating almonds over 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. You know, that's when we do start to see some of the longer term.
So 4 weeks
outcomes.
is the minimum duration that...
It depends on the health outcome that you're looking at. Like if you're looking at a very acute outcome, like satiety, you know, sometimes we look at that over a number of hours. So people eat almonds and, you know, instantly they feel energized, they feel more full.
Okay.
But if you're looking at something like your LDL cholesterol, we typically would do a study over 12 weeks. Because it really takes that much time to see an improvement in that type of clinical marker.
Makes sense. We also hear that it's always better to soak your almonds before eating. Is it like really important to soak almonds and then eat them, or does it like not make any difference?
So in our research studies, we always look at raw almonds with their skin on or roasted almonds with their skin on. We have looked at kind of lightly salted roasted almonds. We don't typically do research on soaked almonds with the peel off.
Okay.
I will say you're getting the nutrients in the almond if you're eating it soaked with the peel off, if you're eating it raw. So I think, again, whatever the individual prefers and whatever is going to make it more likely that they'll actually eat the almonds is what I would recommend, because you're getting this really nutritious product in no matter the form that you eat it in.
So it doesn't really matter.
There's a large body of evidence on raw almonds with their skin on and their health benefits, or roasted and their health benefits.
Yeah.
So I have heard this myth in my travels to India that the skin is bad, that you need to remove the skin. That is actually untrue. There are a lot of really wonderful, healthy bioactive compounds in the skin.
I think fiber as well.
Yes, and fiber. So I think that notion of you can't eat the skin, that is incorrect. But again, if people want to soak and remove the skin and they prefer to eat almonds that way, they're still getting all the nutrition in the kernel.
Okay. So what is it about the phytic acid? I mean, the reasoning that I read of behind soaking almond is that when you soak them, all the phytic acid and the other anti-nutrients, which does not let the other nutrients get absorbed into the body, are removed, which is why they soak and they remove the peel. So it's not true.
So the issue with anti-nutrients, there are these quote unquote anti-nutrients like phytic acid in many different plant-based foods. It's not just almonds, in many beans and other nuts and leafy greens. And the overwhelming body of evidence on these healthy plant foods is that they cause very significant health benefits. There's really no evidence that these foods are harmful. So I think it's a bit reductionist to focus on these specific nutrients in almonds, because if you look at the whole almond, you look at the package of the nutrients that you're getting an incredibly healthy food. And it doesn't make sense to focus on kind of one specific component of that. You need to look at the overall healthy package. And if you look at the overall body of evidence, there are significant health benefits from eating almonds. And we've never seen any issues related to these quote unquote anti-nutrients.
Well, thank you for clearing that out. Is there any difference in the nutrition profile when we roast or toast the almonds, or we eat them raw, or we soak them and then eat them? Like we've discussed about soaking and eating, but roasting, toasting versus eating them raw.
Yeah, so when you roast the almond, that process of applying heat does, in a minor way, does change some of the nutritional composition, but it doesn't really change the health effects that we see.
Okay. It just enhances the taste, I would say the crunch and everything else, right?
Yes, yeah. It just changes the taste. I love roasted almonds. I eat a lot of dry roasted almonds. We do research on dry roasted, on raw. It's really just about what does the individual prefer.
Okay. How to store almonds to increase the shelf life?
So fortunately, almonds do have a very long shelf life. We're unique in that regard. A lot of plant foods have a very short shelf life. When I buy almonds, I do store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator.
Okay. You refrigerate your almonds?
I do, yes.
Regardless of the weather, the season?
Yes, because almonds, they do contain oil, which can oxidize. Again, the time frame for oxidizing is very long. So usually I will have eaten all my almonds before they could go bad or go rancid. But I do to ensure maximum freshness. I do store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator.
Okay. Almond milk has exploded in the last couple of years in India. What do you think? Is almond milk a better option than the dairy-based or the animal-based milk?
Yeah, it depends on what the consumer is looking for. I personally drink almond milk because it is much lower calorie than dairy milk. And I like to add it to my smoothies, to my oatmeal. It also has nutrients at the same level of dairy milk when it comes to calcium and vitamin D and kind of those really important nutrients of public health concern. So it's really up to the individual, but I think almond milk is a nice versatile way to add some nutrients to your diet with a very low calorie count.
And I feel it's a little lighter on stomach also. It's easier to digest, it's not that heavy, and of course people with intolerances can easily consume almond
lactose
milk.
Intolerance. It's a great option for people with lactose intolerance.
Right. Okay, cool. So next I have is some very quick questions. It's like a rapid fire. So I'll just ask you some questions and you may just feel free to answer them in a word or in a sentence as you feel like. Okay, so the biggest misconception you hear about almonds?
What we talked about the skin being harmful and these quote unquote anti-nutrients in almonds, that is a big misconception. The skin is very beneficial. There's actually a lot of really, really important nutrients in almonds. So I wouldn't be concerned at all about any of these kind of anti-nutrients.
Okay, so what's one surprising fact about almonds which most people don't know?
I'll point to the skin health benefits. I find that kind of the most surprising research findings, that actually eating almonds can improve the appearance of your skin.
Because all thanks to the vitamin E content in it?
And just the overall package of nutrients, the healthy fats, the antioxidants.
3 mistakes which people make with almonds.
Oh, that's a hard one. I think not eating enough is a big mistake. We have seen that most people around the world are either not eating any almonds or just eating a very, very small amount. And we do see that a handful a day is really what is needed to create some of these great health effects that we saw. So I would say not eating almonds at all is one, not eating enough is another.
Can I add another one?
Sure.
So people complicate eating almond a lot. Like we need to soak them, especially in India I'm talking about. We need to soak them, we need to take the peel off, we need to add, eat this much, this way, that way. So I think they complicate eating almonds a lot rather than just eat it and take all the benefits.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah, all right. So thank you so much. It was so insightful, and thank you for sharing all the knowledge and breaking all the myths especially. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This was a fun conversation.
Likewise. So guys, I hope that you really enjoyed this episode and found it fruitful. Which is the next food that you would like us to discuss on this show? Please let me know in the comments below. And subscribe to the channel for many more podcasts around health and wellness. I'll see you next time. Till then, fit raho, hit raho.